Good afternoon, folks. Many of you know I've created another channel, and I'm briefly going to do a video on the Dawes Act, and been wanting to do one on the Dawes Act. And the point that the Dawes Act did is it actually forced the Native American people who are on reservations, or forced them onto reservations, especially those who were not on a reservation already. And the other issue with the act, and this occurred in the 1880s, it really created a mindset among Native Americans, because it really, what it forced is a lot of issues on uh, the Native American issue back then, with many of the presidents and many of the white elites that were at that time. And it really was a disconnect, and I call it disconnect, between the Native American tribes, Native American people, and the people that were a disconnect, because really what the act did is try to create more farming land for people out west. And when you're talking about this area, a lot of this is arid, dry land. So, excuse me, and really without irrigation, it would be very difficult to farm it. But there again, this goes back to what I recently wrote about water rights, water quality on the reservations, that in the scheme of things, or in the whole school scheme of things, and I should say, is that Native Americans, excuse me, their rights are at the bottom compared to other farmers, ranchers, and agricultural needs, especially in the arid Southwest. And this is really an issue that needs to redefine, because really what the Dawes Act did is it forced, like I said, Native Americans on reservations, but it also tried to Christianize the white Protestant ethic values of all the Native American tribes. And really this had an influence on a lot of families that were multiracial at the time as well, because it really forced people onto these reservations that were not, and really also were, it also caused some issues concerning, like I said, the issue with the buffalo, getting rid of the food source. And a lot of, at this time during the 1883s, starvation was occurring on a lot of these reservations. And like I said, it goes back to what I said, there was this disconnect between what Washington wanted and really what was actually happening out west, especially forcing these people. And it was not just there, too. I mean, it was also across Seminoles down in Florida. It just really forced a lot of the younger people to be taught. This goes back to even what Jefferson said, which is really, and Thomas Jefferson was another individual in itself, but he would always say that he would call Native Americans noble savages, which was crazy at the time. Anyway, this is a man that wrote the Declaration of Independence. But the point here, there again, there is this disconnect and this misguided information that the white elites, the political parties of the time, had with the people. And the issue becomes that Dawes Act really created more harm than it did good for people. And though maybe the intention has always been to force Native Americans on the reservation by the white elites, it caused a lot of problems. And it forced education upon, like I said, younger people. And a lot of tribes, even the smaller tribes, lost their identity. And it took a while to get that back. So it goes back to what I've said before, that and I've said that in that first video that I made, that the reservation system right now is broke. It's obsolete, and we need to come up with a new system concerning how to do it, the reservations, because really what the reservations symbolizes, it symbolizes a feeling of hopelessness and really doesn't empower the Native American people. The casinos was an option to look at, and I wrote a book on that, casinos and diminishing revenue on the casinos, especially after COVID and during COVID, because what the casinos were supposed to do is supposed to help with social and public services on the reservation, and now with online gambling, they're losing all this. And recently I saw the Biden administration is putting another casino, I believe, out in I believe in Washington, and the system is already saturated. But there again, this is an issue that needs to be addressed. But my point here is, it was on the Dawes Act, and the Dawes Act really should be something that should be taken into light, that it really harmed Native American, and hurt their identity. And I always hear things about African Americans and how slavery was an injustice. The same thing happened with the Dawes Act, because it really was a forced settlement of Native American and indigenous people in America, and really created more problems than it solved problems. So anyway, this is a point that I will do a video once or twice a week concerning these. And anyway, please feel free to leave a comment and like and subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyd Miller. My email is bthomasmillerpsych@gmail.com. It's bthomasmillerpsych. I do have some books that talk about this and into some detail that are available on Amazon, self-published. They're under B. Thomas Miller, as well as Boyd T. Miller. Like I said, the latest book was Water Quality on the Reservation, and how the Native Americans are being misguided and not trusted on water quality, and it's going to corporations rather than the reservations itself. And as I said a few minutes ago, I believe the reservation system is obsolete, and a new system needs to be created to help empower and to give self-identity to these tribes. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.